and welcome to One Way, where we go one way, and that's west. Anyway, now we move west, or at least try to. And we stop to be sure we're not falling into a pit. Anyway, the usual stuff that we mentioned. This is done on a phone. You might hear clawing and scratching noises to make certain maneuvers happen, otherwise it's held at a wide stance to prevent that. But I'll be getting better at doing it. You know, controlling this at a wide stance, it still makes me a little more vulnerable to walking into trees, buildings, and pits of death. And we're going to move the player, which it doesn't like doing. Well, I know the update was out last week, but just happens to be my phone didn't get it because I recorded the last episode the day before I check for updates on the apps that are on the phone. So we're up to the, what is it, 120-124, whatever it is. They were trying to fix all the bugs that we create and initially didn't care about till people complained update. Which still contains the stuttering when whipping the camera to a different angle. But yeah, it also seems that my computer is at for the Windows 10 version is not liking. It doesn't take as much to make it work hard. Although, as I've mentioned before, kill the launcher as soon as the Windows 10 version of the game starts to load in, then way more resources available for the game to run smoothly. A lot more smoothly. I still wish I knew where the executable was. Because before this whole changing the Windows 10 format, I knew where the executable was. I just copy and paste the link, just double click on an icon, and there you go. Don't have to sit through the long loading process of a launcher just to load a game in. So, we're starting off with a village. And here's a stutter. Then again, we're hitting a village. Probably be some stutter. I love how... Oh, we need beds for sure. I love how, in general, most of the weather services, local and international, like weather.com, we're telling you, well, this is going to be a really warm winter, and now it's like, you're going to be in an icebox this winter. I think you do more, and we did. Thank you, Mr. Villager. For the low cost of your bed, I let you trade with me. Oh, useless building. We're jumping. And they still didn't fix the, I don't think they ever will, the dead controls this game has. We'll get more of those. We're pretty good with the food. Thank you for your service. Yeah, this building's useless. So I'm actually doing this in the morning on Saturday, which is the day that I generally do this. And that's because I usually... this is Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States. Thursday was the holiday itself. Friday was Black Friday, which I go around the local shopping mall and show how dead everything is. No. Oh, now we reset our spawn point, so we can't touch that one anymore. On the plus side, if things go wrong, we can move the player, and we're in a location where we can easily recover. How about not ducking? Of course, every button I don't want to touch, it reacts to right away. And we're moving the player. Okay, that needs to be in the correct position. And hit the X button might actually... They like to put themselves on cliffs. Ever since the Cliffs and Caves update, they've always done it, but it's more so ever since Cliffs and Caves and Cliffs and Caves and Cliffs and Caves. We know there's caves and we know there's cliffs, whichever order they're in. One more. No, we're full. We'll eat. It's a waste, but I'm sure there's bread in there, and there. Now we're full. Which way was it? No. This way? Yes. Oh, no. I mean, I used to enjoy that biome, but it's horrible now. Boat. They couldn't have taken the Java edition of the game and freeze over the oceans. As the old saying goes, and don't care that it's politically incorrect because it's an old saying and it fits, it is that apparently this version of the game is the red-headed stepchild of Minecraft. For Micros suck. Alright, rivers and lakes are not an issue. Because those typically are frozen solid all the way through. Not always, but usually. And we're pressing boat. Yep. That's actually a pretty good landing spot. We got full bed, so move the player. The one that we inadvertently tagged is moot point at this point. I think it'll be okay. There was a drop there I didn't see. Good enough. White bed is appropriate for the snow. So I'm doing this in the morning because I was saying Thanksgiving weekend, and usually what I do is my basement bowling right right before or after, depending on when the dinner was. Things were a little different this year, so it was at an earlier time. Although I think the dinner usually was at an earlier time, and we know that's a pit of death. And make a couple of one-block advances there. And another one here, which will help us get to here, which means we can now advance once we get to here. And again, we stopped because there was a pit there, so I didn't know if it was on the other side as well. Dave growling it a few times, because if you noticed in the beginning, and jump button should be jumping, not swinging swords. Jump button should be jumping and not swinging swords. That's something they should probably try next, is making the jump button jump. I'm hitting it square on. It should work. Poops and giggles. Do we have a... There's my answer. Do we have a hidden village thing underneath, which don't care about because isn't really helping this adventure. Place the boat. Boat placing is also terrible in this game. At least on the touch controls, they are. It's like in the regular water. You gotta tap way far out for it to place a boat next to you. But on frozen ice, you have to tap really close or else it's unreachable. And sometimes even tapping close doesn't work and you got no choice but to place it where you have to place blocks in order to advance so you can get closer to it. Out this far, that other part of the issue is a thing. And if you've been using this to help you fall asleep for a while, you would know that, if you haven't fallen asleep through it. And we're trying to get 63 wool. We're not going to go backwards for that. Okay, how about up here where I was aiming for? That one is right where I am. Oh, apparently I did get the experience. And it's raining. And I get to say this early. Alright, that's just going to be minor pain if we fall. Good, we didn't. Move the player. We're aiming for 63 wool. We're up to 52. And, alright, if I hit X, maybe it might close. Oh, we jumped when I didn't want to. Gotta keep an eye out every now and then, because as I was starting to mention, thunderstorms do not work correctly in Bedrock. I don't know if they still work properly in Java because I haven't played that in a while. But what should happen is the sky should turn black. No, the clouds would turn black. The sky gets to a dark gray. And the world gets a bit dark. That doesn't happen in this version. It could happen literally, the thinnest cloud deck. Barely any dimming. And thunderstorms happen. Alright, I got a full... No, I don't have a full bed count. So... So I need to do is get rid of some junk and get the bed, and we got the bed. Let's put an orange one in. In fact, let's swap things like that. Why? To be different, so you're not looking at the same color every time. And these villages are generally useless except for some buildings having beds. On rare occasions, a smithy, which is the other thing we're looking for. And I don't see any of that here. So even the snow doesn't fall the same way. It stutters with the movement. Okay, how about jump button? Jump button. Alright, this. Move the player. Jumping. Yeah, we fixed everything but the dead controls. Must have hit the ice. Nice jump. Glad the jump button worked again. And those ice spikes give me a good reason to jumping, which you kind of have to do in order to move east and west at this point. Jumping. I mean, I literally had the button. I had my finger on the exact same location of the button. It never changed, and it stopped responding. And I know it's not just the dead touch controls. I know for a fact that even on Windows 10 I've pressed the jump button and it seems to be a suggestion rather than a requirement when it's pressed. Meanwhile, the Mojang division that takes care of Java, something's wrong. They fix it within a microsecond. Like I said, seems Bedrock's the red-headed stepchild that Microsoft doesn't care about. That didn't sound right. It's a heavy load. I mean, Thanksgiving weekend is very long, so the laundry itself is actually not, there's almost very little, so this is the time that I take the comforter from the bed and the curtains from the windows in the bedroom and do them as well, because there's a lot more room, even though it actually makes things a little actually makes it the heaviest of the loads. Alright, so I had a yellow one already. Jump. Wow, this game does not like to do what it's supposed to. Alright, let's get another sheep here. Oh, the see-through thing is creepy. Especially since the wool and the sheep are different. Ooh. That did not sound right. Oh, there's a village over there, but... Yep, we can jump, pressing the button. Oh, it's a project village. Yeah, skip that. I mean, the washer might be okay, because, as I've mentioned in early videos, when I bought the house, the elderly couple that owned it, they couldn't take it with them, so they gifted it. Ooh! Okay, there's no death hole, but sudden drop. So, they did not take care of humidity control in the basement at all. They left a pool table behind, which they were going to get later. So, when it was time to build my bowling alley in the basement, for which is why we're doing this in the morning, is in the afternoon I want to early afternoon I want to do that. But anyway, the frame completely, the washing machine itself actually rusted away from its it rusted away from the exterior. So the frame and the mechanicals are all intact, but the frame, the body itself rusted away from the machine. As I tried moving it to clean the basement, because they didn't do that either. I think there was enough sand in here that we could have rebuilt all the Florida beaches from the last hurricane that hit. And obviously all taken care of at this point. The dryer, it in the earlier videos of after I moved into this house in 2022, the dryer sounded like a tank, and then it would quiet down. Well, the belt was old and decrepit and degrading, and then ultimately broke, so we were back to doing, earlier this year, we were back to going to the laundromat. So anyway, what I was actually getting to, and per usual get sidetracked in the process, is... I can't reach that. So, Thanksgiving, no, we're breaking the block now. We're not placing. The game does not like to do what it's supposed to. So anyway, have Thanksgiving. It usually doesn't last long. Timing was a little weird this year, so I didn't have time to do my basement bowling. So then yesterday I did the Black Friday thing, a big shopping day in the United States where immediately the day after Thanksgiving everybody acts like raving lunatics and push and shove each other, and in some places it devolves into even gun violence, because urban cities are terrorist organizations. Anyway, it's the worst of and the most crowded shopping for the year. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here, hence the pausing. Alright, that worked out. Yeah, jump when I don't want it. Alright, that's not a pit of death. I just saw the weirdness there. Okay, yeah, you know, it was a good idea that the game decided to not move at that point. Forced me to look at my food bar and see that I was, another close call there. See that I kind of needed to eat. Oh. It's building up, just what we don't want. At least it's not tall. It's not mountainous. It's a little hilly, but still not what we want. As long as the river's cutting through, we're getting somewhere. Alright, let's just use this tree as the quickest way to elevate. There we go. Oh, looks like we're hitting something I don't want to hit. Yeah, we are in a location we don't want to be in. Actually, let's do this. And do this. Oh, looks like we're... Okay, there's in the middle. We can avoid it. We can brake. Okay, we can keep going. Good, right through the middle. No, we're not swinging swords. Good, we had a midpoint that we could just go completely right by the roof forest. Well, it seems to be handling itself. I guess when it stops, it just, because it's such a heavy load that's in there right now. One could even say overloaded, which I'm sure the dryer's going to enjoy as well. I've done worse. I replaced the belt in the dryer. What a fun chore that was, being that mechanically inept that I am. Alright, let's see. No, too far away. Move the player. Worthless. For what we're doing, it's worthless. If we were playing normal game, it'd be great. Alright, this way. Alright. I can't see the boat bottom there. There we go. Aligned. Ready to go. Big mountain. Fortunately, not exactly where we're heading. Jungle, also not the best. Good thing is when we get to 8,388,608, well, 609 in actuality, in the negative direction, don't have to worry about the monsters too much. Except spiders. Those are bigger than a block in size, so yeah, we got to deal with those. Nope, that's the incorrect answer. We need you to go up here, and then we stay here, and there we go. There we go. Now we do it one more time and jump across. And it actually jumped. Well, the alternative was worse. Alright, let's move the player. Well, that was a little further. That was a nice squeeze right there. Slowly go down. Alright, can we hit 8210 before the spin cycle is over? Well, I just answered the question before I finished stating the question. Oh, it is the heaviest load of the year. So the comforter and the few curtains that are in the bedroom, as well as what probably is the thing overdoing it is the hoodie I use at work when I go for my walks during my breaks. And I think that sound is time is up. And as I keep forgetting, although not recently, is I don't have to put myself in a safe spot. I just pause the game, and which is still kind of a new thing for Bedrock. Java always had it. So I'm just going to pause and get ready for dryer phase. And we're back, continuing our adventure. It'll be a slightly longer dryer phase, similar to when I do the clothes and the linens. So once again, not exactly cooperating, but not exactly fighting either. It's fair. Brake. That helped. And that helped. Actually, over here might be a little better. We can jump if we actually hit the button. That time I could say that hitting the button may help. It's funny with magma blocks, if you duck while you're on them, you don't get hurt. Walk over them or run over them, you do. Minecraft physics at its best. Anyway, another ocean. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I try to jump the smaller drops so that we keep moving forward, because as you've seen, if you just let it drop naturally, movement stops, then continues. Yeah, over there seems easier, but over here seems to be where we can move. How are we on charcoal? Coal. This black stuff. Let's get another one. As we can. We'll just keep going on land so we can place a bed as over here it wasn't as bad. It wasn't a death drop. I don't know what it was over in the middle. Usually at the ends they're not. and boat the boat. Wide open ocean, which will help a lot with our distance. Probably not. Yes, it is an ocean. Till now. Do we have a way through in oh, we did. Barely. Out this far, north and south travel, we can squeeze through 1 block wide bodies of water, which you normally cannot do in a boat. But with the precision error where we are at this point, you can. So as I was also saying, and then sidetracked again, as old people, that tends to be a thing that happens a lot. Is Thanksgiving went on a lot longer than anticipated, which is not a bad thing. And I just got home too late to do my Thanksgiving bowling in the basement, which would be a live stream. And then yesterday, Black Friday, the shopping frenzy, went recorded a video at my local shopping mall that is somehow busy, even though there's almost nothing to shop, nowhere to shop there anymore. And that took a lot of time. So comes to doing this during the morning is when I'm all done and everything's squared away. Might be a little late, but Thanksgiving holiday bowl live stream, candlepin bowling in the basement, will happen a little after doing this. I gotta do, pardon me, gotta do a little cleaning though. I mean, I'm not gonna get away from this, but I was just looking for a better place to get off. I'm glad I still got the boat back. Thick roof forest, exactly what we don't like. Place. Yeah, we can place there. Well, the good thing is it's flat enough that we can hop along the treetops, and dense enough we can easily hop along the treetops. So long as the jump button actually does its job. We're going to go back a little bit. We're between blocks, so if that jump failed, I wouldn't have fell through. Okay, we got a river showing up. Move. And again, like I said, we gotta check to be sure that this rain doesn't suddenly become the broken thunderstorm. Not a good place for the stutter to happen. Important thing is we got by the roof forest again, which is good. And you gotta waggle the boat back and forth if you want to move out this far. You don't break that 5 block per second speed, you can't move east or west. That's why we gotta jump every time we move on foot. Run and jump. White sheep, I think. Yes, that's not what I said. How about move the player now? Just in a dark spot. Bad. Yep, go faster. Brake. Need to replace wood that we've been using. How are we even grabbing it? This guy's turning pink, so... no, that was not a good spot to go. Yeah, that works. room for it. We now have 50, which is not really best. Oh, one of them fell on a half block. And there. 58 is a lot better. Board. Pressing the button. Kind of important. If it drowned us there, we could have been in trouble. Off we go again. So pretty much after doing this, then it's time to clean up the bowling alley and start a live stream. Although I'll give this phone a chance to charge up the battery a little bit, because it's going to be practically dead when we're done this. Board here. How about moving? I mean, that wasn't perfect, but same as that, but it did its job. Brake. So we make the jump back up a little bit, and then we can move. we actually could hit that one. Well, if we couldn't, we'd just undermine the block that it's under, and we're good. Oh, that was a decent run. That was okay, too. And stop. Alright, we can still move a little bit that way, and then it stops. Nope. Well, that's how we can get rid of this crap. And I'm losing blocks doing it. That was pointless. Better way I could do that without picking up junk that we don't need. It didn't work. Okay, move. That was okay. Right, I guess. Alright, that's not a pit of death, that's water. River to be exact. up the boat and continue onward. And it kind of ends. I mean, it's a little bit of a river that way, but not much of one. But this is relatively flat land, so... Ooh, a jump I didn't make, and it was beneficial. That was a strange thing to happen. This is not helping us, the lake. We can jump. Alright, hit the jump button, that might help. Jumping. Again, maybe if I hit the jump button, that could have helped. Pointless jump. We are at 63. Perfect number. No longer need to go for sheep, and we can move the player. $21 beds, in case we need it. Always find a tree and pick up more wood if we need to do that as well. We had to rely on the sheep there was one major drought of villages. They just never would show up. And went through like 2/3 of the supply. And we want braking. Sometimes the mounting button and the where we need to brake the boat is so close and overlapping. It's really hard to avoid hitting the button there. We don't need the sheep anymore. That means we must be dying soon, so it would be yet another one of those moot points. Oh, that did no good. I did the old-fashioned swimming because when we meet up with the coast, we can easily get right back up. I say it does stutter, but it doesn't seem to be as bad. Still not great, but still better. Dave Grohl it there. Get a river over there. Can move the player forward. Could actually jump. It's going a little bit the wrong way, but place it. Could have just gone straight. It would have been easier and we would have gotten further. Let it drop down so we didn't Dave Grohl it again. Mystery pit, we just Dave Grohl it there though. That was a good run. Nice long run. No, not ducking, moving. Stop, because you didn't know if this was a bowl like it is or if it were a pit. And there goes our... Let's go this way. 4 pieces. 1, 2... Now, no longer have... We have another free slot at this point. I mean, we've had it. It's just now we truly don't have to use it. I mean, we gotta use a boat to get across and place it. Alright, over here will be fine. Already. In this case, we might as well dig out a little place here. Yeah, it's getting dark, so I saw a zombie. Nice jump. Glad the jump button worked. Jump. Okay, that's a pit. We don't want that. Or how about breaking the block I actually was aiming for? That's another thing I know is a Bedrock thing, because that happens on Windows 10 as well. Jump wasn't necessary, but we got through that. Jump. Actually, we might want to break what we can reach here, because those might be headbangers. Nice jump. How about over here where we're placing the block? That was pretty good. Too bad that doesn't really go anywhere helpful. I gotta slow down because I don't know what's coming. If it's too steep. Alright, that was all good. Although we stopped moving. What could have helped is that we cleared that. Although if you get the timing right, regular swimming can get out of that somewhat easily. That time I broke the wrong block, but it helped. Move the player. That we just couldn't make. A pretty decent run. That was not. That could have been. This way. We don't have a way at all. No ducking. This river might go somewhere. Move the player. Jump there, but it did the second time. Nice jump, although I missed the button, so yeah, can't say the game failed. And jumped into what could have been a pit of death, even though it wasn't. That's another thing I hate that happens on occasion. You jump and looks like you're jumping into something clear, but then you find out it was a pit of death and you die. And jumping, and we press the jump button and it swings the sword instead of jumping. Nothing. It's a lake. Pressing. Place the boat. I don't care about the pitch of my view. We're just heading over to the left here. Well, this was worse than I thought. There's a river here. Place. We're just wasting time a little bit there. Alright, seems safe enough. Getting low on beds. 63 wool will definitely help if villages don't show up anymore. stopped. No pit of death, just slightly sharp drop. To aim where the boat is to break it. Okay, we made it to the, just noticed it now, the 8220 block. Really like to hit at least, okay, we gotta eat. The 8230. Although not exactly 30,000. $82, 33 would be good because we'd be a third of the way through the next 100,000. Jump. That stings, but it was good. Here, move the player. Oh, river. And, oh, we weren't ducking. It was just... the joystick wasn't responding to me trying to move. Alright. Can't go one block in east-west, though. Jumping. Move. Well, it looks like we're in a crappy biome no matter what. Place. Oh, actually, we may not be. Down a little more. Yep, jump, jump. Might be the button I'm pressing. Okay, yep, we didn't need to jump the second time, but yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen. Alright, so obviously picked up junk, so get rid of it. does help us get higher. How are we doing on the... Yeah, we're just gonna get that back. That's dumb. Oh, we didn't. Let's just use that for now. This may not be the... Oh, actually, this may be the smart move. The player. We can move the player. Alright, it's not terribly bad. Sword. It's gonna hurt. But we made a distance. Oh, used it all up. Alright. Thought I had a few more left. Oh, creeper. Is he boomy? Can't hit it. Yeah, he went kaboom. Oh, yeah, skeleton. No longer a problem. Move the player. Move the player. Got a river we can hopefully get to. Move the player. Nope. That's better. That'll give us some more torches. Do this to play it safe. Made the jump. Nice jump. Would have been nice if the jump button did its job. Sword, not sword. Boat. Go. Move. Nice jump. Very important that it worked. So of course you don't. Jump. Move. 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 Damn. The game has zero ability. And we're just almost 21% of the way through this next 10,000. Mistake or not? see water, but it's blocked. Place. How about jump? It's heading in the wrong direction. So this is fairly flat terrain if we just move the player. Player. This looks like a lake more than an ocean. Well, the mangroves seem to be the easier way to go. Fortunately, the mangroves don't suffer the half-light monster issue. They're a pain to get through, though. Or we can go over here, where I was pointing. Dark spot. Move the player. the player. Where's this front boat? There it is. That is not where I wanted to get off. Actually, let's move the player along. Move the player a little bit. How about not climbing? How about not climbing? How about moving the player? Before we keep going, let's press the inventory. And we got a blank space somehow. Anyway, pressing. Somehow there's a blank space. Anyway, got through that. It was actually one of the easier mangroves. Not to say that we're out of the woods quite yet. Place. These are almost as annoying as the iceberg biome. Go past the 256 point. Just so I don't have to deal with that. And what do we have here? We have a river. Yes, we do. That's going to help us get back to zero, sort of. more than halfway through the next 10,000. And we're going way off for some reason. Jumping. Seeing that. We got a river. Oh, I was gonna say we got a river flowing through. Oh, we still do. Good. These are a mixed bag. They're either really, really awful or really just hiding the fact that, yeah, there's an easy way through. Looks like the sun's coming. Around it. Do we want to at this time as the sun's starting to set? Good, right there. That's actually good. We are low on beds. We could use villages. But then again, that's what the 63 wool is here for. Oh, so that's how you do it. I knew there was a way to split them in half. And Either that or they changed how it works and for some reason actually did something for the better. Brake. I'll just get a few more. Brake. Alright. That's right, we lost our secondary stackable blocks. Dirt and the cobblestone. That's going to be a little much to get to. We got plenty of golden apples anyway. %70 of the way through this 10,000. Big ocean. And every time I say that, it just ends all of a sudden. Just looked again, we're at 84% of the way through the next 10,000 for our minimum goal of 8230. We're at 8228. under normal play and normal distances, whatever. But with the lack of easy movement along the negative X, or actually in all intents and purposes the X-axis, it's not really something we want. Have dark spots, that means you have monsters. Is there a river going through it? That would be stupid if it were. This looks like we could take it. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Dark spots, don't like those. Really dark spots, get away. How about jumping? So that's not a pit of death. Break. We can use the jump button to jump now. Alright, there is a pit of death. And we're over it. This is not good. Back this way. Move the player. Jumping. And we're not in the jungle. We can also move the player. Yeah, that's not going to work. Nothing's going to work. Actually, this, move into the spot. There we go. Board. Okay, that didn't work. Not that way. This way. Or does it go? Okay, 8230 is in sight, literally. Can we reach it? I'm trying to say. Voice doesn't want to play cooperation. Similar to the game. Alright, we did not. But we know we're not far from it. Yeah, we're really low on pads. That's why we collect the wool. And again, I allude to things and my train of thought derails all the time. Is why do we go to villages to raid beds? Also to get food, which is the other thing. As well as this, if there's a smithy, some goodies, possibly, supposedly. Alright, next. And there we are, 8230. Might get deep into the 8230s as well. Hey, a village! We definitely need those. We're just sailing slightly by it, so we can just... Yeah, that's... Well, initially perfect, but there's no good spot to dock and get up there, though. And it puts me where I can't move. Nope, not swim. Okay, move the player. Move the player. No, there we go. Move the player. Move the player. Oh, this is an abandoned village. Oh, this building looks fine. And we're not gonna... Yeah, we're not able to move. Yeah, bring it. It's odd that these desert ones don't have the abandoned look to them. Oh, but it has a smithy, which is very rare. Oh, there's one that does. Break. Break. Well, I have to explain everything because you're so dumb. Move the... Come on. Move the player. That's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. That helps. Pressing. And how are we doing? Yeah, that's actually fine. But place. that's a useless building. To go net. Nope, that is just move it there for now. Nope. Do we have room for it? No. Pressing the X. Is that another one, or is that the one I just raided? Okay, move the player. That's another one. Not very useful. We need 2 more beds. Yeah, you do have one. It's hard to notice. Yeah, we can actually move the player. Make sure that that's gone. Break. There we go. Full house. Now normally we'll just take the oceans, but being a desert we could hopefully see desert temples, and no, that's not good. I like to keep my view directly in front so I know which way the boat's going. And we're whacking things for some reason. That. This is why we take the desert. Move. Move. We are gonna light it up decently. Because we're going to need to, that is not where we need the bed. Actually, let's put the blue one there. Just to switch it up a little bit. It is getting dark, so there we go. Junk. Something decent. Junk. And wow, this was a junky one. Pressing the X. Pressing the X. This was not a good temple. Jumping, jumping, jumping. Could jump when I press the jump button. I mean, I think that's what that's supposed to do. I say even in Windows 10, jump button doesn't like to work. And we're swinging swords for some reason. This is turning into a mesa, which, yeah, that's not usually good because it means it's difficult to get around. Just slightly. And there's no way out of this. Again, regular gameplay, great. What we're doing, not so much. guess you get to the top if if it stays relatively high for a while, then good enough. Okay, needed to jump there. Jumping. Jumping. The player. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Jumped over something. The player. Over here and move the player. %, battery power. Can't imagine all this terrain doing any of that. Move the player. The player. Move the player. That time I chose not to because I didn't know if I was going to be jumping into a pit of death similar to that one. I'd like to press jump and then jump were to happen. Two more sleeps, and well, this appears to be one of those. Yeah, we'll just sleep here. And finally, the last Minecraft day. Wasn't supposed to do that. Break. Break. Trying to build up these blocks as well. Break. Yeah, break it. Perhaps the break option means breaking. Oh, not moving that way. That's not helping us. How about we move this way? Break. Do the job. Stopping at each one because we kind of need the building blocks. How about we jump when the jump button is pressed? Move. We need to be moving. How about some moving? All right, how about up here where I'm pointing, and now we move. You know, I see an end to this. Let's just get out of here. We need to go this way. That way we can maybe jump to the red, which we did. Good. Move the player. Finally doing that again. Alright, how about over here? Maybe we're not going terribly deep in. In fact, we didn't even really cover 30,000 blocks, but... Move the player. Brake. Perhaps the brake button means braking. The player. Come on, jumping. Yeah, move. Okay, unduck. Now move the player. The player. Well, I guess we might make 30,000 blocks. I mean, we made our minimum goal, so I mean, that's fine. Jungle is not fine. Nice jump. Move the player. Move the play. Oh, come on. Yep, jumping. I mean jump. The player. Jumping, jumping, jumping. Break. How about over here? Move the player. Okay, it's not a death drop, so Move the player. Not stopping. Moving. Alright, it looks like it's starting to get dark, so... Yeah, okay, getting dark. So, place 8,233,787 one way. JoJo551 saying, hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.